episodes. Crazy. This is a landmark. This is a moment. This is the 10th episode of our Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Yay.
Yay.
Cheers. Cheers to this. No new announcements except for, hey, let's celebrate 10 episodes. And happy to be here and still going. We are just barely touching the surface of the story we have to tell. Tim is just on it with these backgrounds. You say the word dock, boom, he's got a dock in the background. Lake, boom, celebrate, fireworks, let's go. All right, Tim, how quick would it get for you to get like Barney and Friends? Let's get some like weird Muppet stuff going on behind you while I say, let's recap episode 9. All right, so in episode 9, it is probably copywritten, and by Muppets I mean just do a puppet, a nondescript. Nobody owns the rights to this puppet.
Let's do the Mopeds or Brandon and Friends. One of the classic.
Right, sick, amazing. All right. While everyone sits at Ocean Deep's goblet, a purple dinosaur walks into the room looking chill AF. So,
we're holding hands.
Amazing. In episode 9, so we continued the combat on the lake, switching a stone for a containment chamber, trying to figure out who's doing what. Gwen was claiming Excalibur out of the back of a massive crab creature and grabbing the stone out of the lake, fought her way back onto the boat, climbed into the boat, and then getting in proximity to other people. Some type of connection, mind control thing came from the stone out to the boat, which seemed to affect Misery. And so Misery clawed at and tried to fight Gwendolyn for the stone, got shoved to his behind onto the bottom of the boat as Pilgrim then held the stone high up into the air, got it up and away from him, and then Misery became his normal self again. Rowing the boat back to the dock, the group decapitated a crab creature, cleaned out the bowl head of this crab creature. Cicero tried to toss it out into the lake in an act of defiance in his moodiness and seemingly change in behavior from the incident that happened on the lake. But Pilgrim snatched the crab head with his magical powers, pulled it back in. Thule lifted the whole body of this crab creature, which is 6.5 feet long and pretty heavy, and she hefted it onto her back, and then with the help of Gwendolyn and Lorelith, they carried this creature over to Ocean's Deep Goblet, where Zach was awaiting for an update. And as the full party moved over in that direction, Lorelith had also scoured the lake for some plants and had a hefty bundle, and walked into the entryway of the bar to find Zach talking to a man who introduced himself as Rickledar, a very brawny and strong barkeep with the most hair anyone has ever seen, pulled up into a bun, and this massive gray and black beard, as a table had formed. And the party was then kind of prompted by Rickledar of just saying, I'm very curious and so interested in the work that you all were doing and what you all accomplished this morning. Here we are, episode 10.
Can I kick this off with a perception check of Rickledar?
What are you looking for?
I want to see if he's bad news bears or good news ghouls.
Or Berenstein.
So that would be just an insight check. Your first kind of initial reading of his body language, his eye contact. Just trying to get that general vibe.
Freaking Dan, these dice that you gave us. I rolled a 3.
All right, yeah.
Plus 1, 4.
Amazing, great. That's wonderful.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, just whatever general reading you get to role play into your character of the situation. You know very little about this guy. He's not really giving any sense of leaning or anything, and is just generally open and curious to the conversation as a group of people just dragged the corpse of a monster into his bar.
And I'm the one that's suspicious of him.
Yes. So please tell me more as he leans in. What have you accomplished this morning?
As you can imagine, we have accomplished a peculiar series of events, and I kind of indicate the crab head that I still have floating over my head.
You seem to be a very capable group to obtain this creature. What led you to this action on the lake?
Can I, before anyone says anything, can I grab Thule and Pilgrim and pull them off to the side?
Yeah.
And goodbye. And I get pulled away.
Getting yanked away. Yeah.
We walk over to the side and I say,
Julie says to
really...
hang on just 1 second as she's being pulled away.
Yeah.
If you all remember, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, while Lorelith is talking, Pilgrim is also like eyeing the rafters and trying to find a place to place the head while she's like I'm just kind of like, you see me kind of like moving it and like kind of feeling out the different like beams and just finding a place to put it so it's out of reach, but also I don't have to use telekinesis anymore. Anyways, that's all. Ha ha ha.
As you both might remember, I was very careful to tell anyone about what we were doing today, much less what we have now deemed as our friends, one of whom is acting like a real stick in the mud, and I'm not sure what's going on with him. He's not here right now, and it was hard for me to call him friend, but here we are.
She's talking about Misery.
Yeah. I think we should all get on the same page about what information we're being willing to share with people, because before we were doing an ecological study, which I very graciously brought all of these nature knickknacks with me to prove that point. Let's be careful what we tell people about the crabs. We did kill one. That's fine. They picked that up from seeing it. We don't need to tell them anything else.
While Lorelith is off with Pilgrim and Thule.
Yep.
Don't you dare.
Misery starts telling, what's his face?
You son of a
Rickledor, everything we did today.
You
and mostly talks about the band name, or not band name, the group name ideas he has.
All the group names.
Would there be any point that Gwen could like interrupt that as it starts, or it has just happened?
Play it out. So Lorelith has started her conversation of just like unifying two of the members of the group. And Misery, what do you start to say as Rickeldar is looking curiously over to the group that is split, but then you grab his attention?
Yeah, well, right, yeah, basically right after he says, like, you guys seem like a tough group or whatever, I'm like, yeah, we are. I'm trying to figure out what to call us. I was thinking of 6/8 of cake. I was thinking of maybe something more intense like brain freeze or like the crab attackers. I'm working on it, but
Misery, I've been thinking about this too, and also he might be interested to hear about this.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame that the band is already called Displacer Beast, because like that's a pretty sick group name for anything.
I mean, I know, that's why we called it that.
Right. So I'm thinking, what if it's like similar and it could like get clout for your band, you know? So like if people see like a flyer, you know, they're like, oh, we come check out Displacer Beast at Smash Pop.
Yo,
I don't know. I just been thinking it kind of works both ways, you know?
Come check out Displacer Beast and see the best one in the band's friends, the Displacer people. Yeah, I think that's a good, like a good. No, but it's a good. We can workshop it, and also he might want to hear about your band. Like he can see the crabs. That's fine, but yeah.
Rickledar?
You all haven't been
Purple
together
Dart.
long, have you?
Oh, in his
I've known these
band? He's
people
been in
for,
his
like,
band for a while. Yeah.
2 days. Oh, the band, yeah. They're my best friends, but I've known these people for, I think, 2 days.
Okay. Okay.
You should definitely check out the band at Smash Pods. But anyway, you asked about what happened today. We obviously have this crab. I wasn't the
He
one
can see
to
that we got the crab.
do the killing blow, but killed it basically. So,
Rickledar, we
There's
were
all
wondering, do you, like, while we're, we have this crab, as you can see, do you know anything about the lore of these crabs? Or the, any concerns that you could tell me in Misery?
The fishermen who spend a lot of time here only tell stories of when some of them get caught up in their nets and they have to fight them off and either kill them or throw them over the ledge and make sure that everyone makes it out of that okay. They tend to be avoided, not dragged across town, or at least seeing you all spend the energy and effort to keep this one. Why are you working so hard to move this thing around?
So we can find out, like you said, people are kind of, it's not great to interact with them. Do you know of any other, spooky things around the lake ecologically? I mean, as you can tell, Misery here, he's interested in finding any critters, so we're just kind of wondering what all there is. Anything else fun in there? Waiting for my friends to come back into the park.
Have you all heard about the lighthouse?
About the lighthouse?
No.
No, Misery, that sounds like your kind of spot.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, the lighthouse. I go there every night. No, I haven't heard of it.
his grin just gets really big, and even Zach just like leans in and smiles as he's getting ready to hear this story. But it hasn't been in operation for about 14 years, and no one from town ventures across the lake to get to it. It's pretty remote, off and away, but people tell stories about the disappearances of if you go in late at night, the people don't come back. Stories of those singing aquatic types that'll lure you in and then turn you into a satchel or something. I don't know what they do. Like those kind of crazy stories where they make bags.
Satchel.
They make bags out of the skin of people who wandered in.
What, they like melt your face off and then
I've heard that
make
one
it into
once.
a bag?
Yeah.
Face melters, Misery,
Sick
that's a good
music.
name.
But like these could be sirens, could be witches or hags, could be some people just playing tricks on other people. It's kind of like a weird little place that people think it's fun to make up little myths and stories about.
Other than the bag thing, that might be a cool venue, Misery, for a show,
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in that stuff anyway, so
Right.
I'll probably check it out.
Anything else?
I feel like it'd be pretty metal. If I successfully distracted Misery, is that what it is?
Seems like it.
I'm specifically not telling him about the stone. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's good.
stupid.
Sure.
I'm kind of just saying, like, we killed a bunch of crabs. I thought it was awesome, so.
Cool.
They
Anything
showed the
else from
lighthouse.
Lorelith's group that she's updating?
Yeah, Tilly would have something to say. So after Lorelith said that, Tilly would have done that thing where she puts her fingers together and goes, so here's my thing. totally 100% same page about the stone. That's like bad business. I don't think anyone should know about it. We don't know who to trust, etc., etc. I don't like fully understand why we don't tell them about like, Munkin and the ecological study that we're doing to catch the crabs just because they're like dangerous. Reason being, I feel like we kind of like whiffed it pretty hard out there. And I feel like maybe we could get some info or like some leads. These guys, like people who own small businesses are just pretty crafty and in the know in general, I feel like. That's what I've heard. But I feel like maybe they could at least give us some work, maybe? I don't know. I feel like we could maybe get some leads, but totally agree on the stone. That's just kind of like where I'm at.
Loreleth, I understand your caution and as we are clearly dealing with forces that we do not fully understand, it is hard to know who and even what we can trust. However, we know so little at this stage. I must say that I agree with Thule here.
Okay. As long as we're all on the same page about not talking about the stone, because I really don't know who we can trust. Maybe they know something about Munkin as well, because I'm still suspicious of him. So, who knows? That's fine. But nothing about the stone.
Yes, I agree. I will even see if there is somewhere that I can store it out of sight, out of mind. And I'm gonna actually, attempting to innocently, I'm gonna kind of wander over to the bar where this stranger is.
Okay, yeah. We'll just slip right into that.
Nice. I wander over to the bar where this stranger is. And I kind of make a show of I'm taking a gamble here. It will be very funny if the gamble is incorrect, but I'm kind of making a show of like almost like peeking behind the bar and just like looking for like cups or mugs or whatever. And I'm gonna mind link with the stranger and I'm just gonna say, "Are you ready to talk now?"
What?
And I'm just gonna look at him, give him like a small smile and look him directly in the eyes. And I'm just gonna do a perception check to see if I can.
Yeah.
Pilgrim,
actually, make an investigation check.
Investigation check. I'll do that. I'll do that one instead of what I said. Oh, good. It's a 13.
Okay, as you're looking over the person and just trying to discern who they are and things about them, we'll step into doing this really, but also understanding the meta of this will look different. So Cicero, your DC on this, if it's not explicitly stated, let me pull up your page. Oh my gosh, I did not have this ready. It should say on your actual ability. Give me a second, I'll pull it up too. Oh God, the awkward silence that needs to be filled as we just look something up.
That's okay.
Sing a song. of gladness.
Somebody
Don't worry
once
about
told
who
me
the stranger
world...
is, guys.
Okay, for what it's worth, I know that we made a whole bit about it beforehand, but like the moment he walked in, I was like, Pilgrim's gonna go try to see if this is Cicero. For
Pay
what
no
it's
attention to
worth.
the man behind the mirror.
We had a whole meta moment about it, but I still was gonna do that for what it's worth.
But you didn't. Meta moment.
Because the episode ended.
Okay, easy enough.
Ugh.
So there's actually not an inherent DC set on this. So Cicero, make a just make a deception check to set the DC for it of your ability to disguise in a way that,
Deception.
yeah.
11.
Okay, yeah. So, Pilgrim, as you look him over, you can recognize the same clothes, the same equipment, the crossbow on the back, like a lot of telling signs that this person is the same.
No one saw I was sneaky, guys.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'll say that, kind of giving him the eye contact. I recognize something of Cicero in there, but I'm just going to keep mind linking. And I'm just going to say, if you're ready to talk, I'm ready to talk. If you are not ready to talk, I will finish what I was pretending to do over here, and I will return to the party.
I'm just gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Not even react. Not even look at you. I'm gonna pretend I didn't even hear it.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. I'll just kind of try to nod very slightly and just say, again, telepathically, just say, when you're ready, and walk back over to the group, and not make a big show of it, but just walk back over, and I'm going to sit back down at the table with the rest of the people.
Okay. Lorelith, when you make a perception check, what is your modifier? What is the thing you add to it?
I add 3, I think. Yeah, 3.
Okay, got it. Okay, so as Pilgrim makes his way back, Lorelith makes her way back, Thule at the table again, you can hear Misery walking through some potential names for the group, and Rikaldar just leaning back and nodding and listening, but it's more of a discussion between Gwendolyn and Misery of them talking through potential ideas of a group name. And when you all make it back, Rikaldar just smiles and leans in. Right. Okay. So a fresh new group coming together and renting a boat and dragging a corpse and coming in here to relax and drink after the morning. I can respect that.
I say kind of under my breath, well, we were a group coming together, but we are missing one.
Did something happen?
We have a companion who we did meet early in our travels here in the city. Cicero is his name. He is a delight. He, I would say, was the heart, the life of the party, a truly beautiful soul. He touched us all in his own unique and special way. Ne'er in my travels have I met one quite like him. His charm and his wit. Sadly, our most recent ordeal shook us all to the core in various ways. And I'm afraid that while we all certainly have spirit, what we might lack most of all is clear communication. And that seemed to have been our downfall at this most recent encounter. So we learn, we pick ourselves up, and hopefully we live to fight another day as a team, though it will take some time and some patience and some ale. And I lift my mug and then just lean back and start sipping it quietly.
I say to Pilgrim, like, I don't know, dude, he's kind of annoying to me.
I kind of look at both of them and say, I don't say this often or ever because I've been by myself for a very long time. But
Thanks for the reminder.
I turn my body so that way my back is to Misery, but still open to the rest of the party.
It's impossible.
I don't know where you're sitting, but I'm assuming that I can turn my back to
Dan,
you.
give us a map. Give us a map.
Roll initiative. Roll initiative. We need to know these things.
All right,
But I did call him and the rest of this group my friends. And that's a big deal for me, as I haven't said those words in over 300 years.
Julie has tears in her eyes.
It's a very touching moment, you guys. wish Cicero was here to hear it.
I did have a lot of fun with him that one night when we had a sleepover.
Wait, did the stranger say that? Were you saying that in character?
When did this become like a wake? Like, what are we? What's happening?
Too bad he's dead.
We communicated so poorly, he died on the spot.
Krikledar leans in, is like, is this person okay?
Oh, I'm confident he will be. And then I keep sipping my ale.
Well, we don't even know where he is, man.
If there's anyone who can handle being on his own, I'm sure it is Cicero.
You're right.
And what was this loss or issue that has started this contention within your group?
I say, well, for one thing, this, and I read telekinesis, pull the head back off out of the rafters and bring it back down to the table. This was meant to be alive, and we were meant to return it to Monken of the Onyx Pillar Academy.
Nice.
Are you familiar with this individual?
Vaguely, but never met the guy. I've just heard about some of his work and his intentions, and seems very much one of those wizened, smart types who cares a lot to do the learning and stick to the tower to study. Much like, well, it makes sense. You all were doing some ecological studies yourself, so I see that you were assisting him. Seems like a very dangerous task to catch one alive. How would you plan to do that?
I perk up and I go, real quick, let's go back. I don't know that Loreleth would say those words, but whatever my version of that is. You said you've gotten a feel for his intentions. What would you say his intentions are?
Interesting, yes. And he looks up for a moment and leans back in his chair. I would say that Monken seems to be the kind of guy that uses his mind and his abilities to explore his passions about the creatures that we get to enjoy seeing in the Bronze Bowl. And I know that he has used the knowledge that he has gained to help the guards of this town and the government of this town to keep our town safe, to keep our workers safe, and to keep our borders clear of the monsters and things that exist outside of Populous. So, yeah, I've never called to scrutiny Monken's work before, but well, hell, I trust the guy. He seems he seems pretty good to me. And then he takes a sip of his ale.
Loreleth doesn't really respond in any way, but she kind of just like leans back, and in the tension that she's had since she first met Monken, you can kind of see her shoulders drop a little bit, and that she's feeling a little bit more.
You did not answer my question, though. I'm very interested in this group. You seem you talked about struggling to work together, but it would require that, I would imagine, to capture a living one of, and he points over towards the shell at the corner of the room that y'all slopped in. How did you plan to get that thing alive deep into the other side of town?
Tuli kind of like plops her elbow down on the table and leans on her hand and says, well, Munkin made us some kind of a containment ball. We've been calling it a bunch of different things, but anyway, it's a magical item that we would have used to try and catch one of these crabs / true loss and take them back to Munkin alive. But you know, you get out into the field, the best of plans go awry. Anyway, we lost it in the lake.
And he just turns very serious and leans forward. You lost it then. You don't have it now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, if you are interested in this, and Zach just laughs and kind of leans back. You're not gonna whatever, and he just stands up and finishes his drink and just, Rickeldar, you were always the salesman. And then he turns and just leaves the bar, and Rickeldar just shakes his head as Zach heads out. I am a bit of, well, some people I coordinate, people work with me, and we recover things from the lake. Many ships have gone awry, or people have dropped things weirdly often, and usually are willing to pay, or people want to go and dive into the lake and recover different lost objects or anything. Are you interested in either getting it recovered, or I can send some people to work on that, or also, how would you all feel about going down into the lake and recovering your item?
Now that's interesting. And she looks at the rest of the group.
Yeah. What? How do you even do that? Don't the crabs? You don't see any crabs when you go down there?
They've seen the crabs. And I mean, you all have done your work, and
oh yeah, we could take them again.
You specifically said you want to kill these things.
Oh yes, that's true.
And well, and he looks back towards the stranger sitting up at the bar, but he leans in and talks a little quieter to this group, a little privately. Got a couple things that I'd want to trust you with. First being, I personally have been interested in looking for a group of people to represent, to sponsor, to have a team of people who work, and I can give some jobs to, or use my connection to mutually gain and work with each other. And so first, before I go any further, are you all looking for some type of partnership with somebody from the city, as you all are coming together as a group? And
you're talking payment, right? You're talking like
I would be
situation.
I come across a lot of people looking to get stuff done, and I would use those connections to help you all get some jobs across the city, get some money, and help out the people on the side of town who find themselves in a bit of a way, or under some bad luck, and just need some people to do some things to get on the right side of things.
Well, I'm super in. I just can't do Glormsday nights, because that's when my band plays at
I can work around that.
Place. Oh, I forget the name. Oh. What do you guys think? I'm so down.
Smash
Oh my
Pods.
gosh. Smash Pods, that's what it is.
Julie has like perked up and is like looking around at the group and says, I mean, I think that sounds great. I guess, like business wise, Gwen, I know you have a small business, and like I said, I really respect small business owners. And I'm just wondering, like, do you have any business questions? Can you like, she like leans over to the table, and I guess everyone can still very clearly hear her, and says, should we have like a contract or something?
Gwen isn't actually laughing. That's just me. Good questions, totally. Yeah, Rickeldar, I mean, would you be interested in setting up, a more formal meeting about this that is, not after we've got our butts whooped on a lake, maybe, but to have, more formal meeting and chat about it and what you would like to gain and what we would like to gain? Would you be interested in that?
We should also have Cicero in the mix.
Yeah. Also, as you heard, it's not that our friend has died, he's just not here. So our full group would need to be present as well.
And we are the worse for it.
He's not dead. I just want to be
Pilgrim,
clear.
I don't know that this is our fault. I think you're going a little far here.
I simply miss our dear friend Cicero, and I wish to vocalize that as clearly and arguably loudly as possible. And I just keep sipping my drink and looking up at the rafters wistfully.
As you can see, we have a variety of talents, including being very poetic at times. But I think we would like to have our full group as well as a shower, so that it could be a bit more professional.
I don't
Like
need
a
an
long
answer now.
rest.
A quote, long rest, end quote. I don't need an answer now. It seems that you all are interested and we could have a conversation, and that is all I was curious about.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Then consider this then a teaser and a start to what we could potentially do. And I try to keep this under wraps and a little private. I don't like attention, and I don't want a lot of people coming to me and asking for this service as well. If you were interested in going into the lake and trying to recover your lost item, I would be able to allow you all to breathe underwater in enough amount of time that you could explore and achieve anything that you wish to achieve during that time. I would ask, and we can talk about some type of contract or agreement to me providing that service and assisting you to then see if you all can provide anything of interest for me that you may find while you were in the lake too, and take your time, think through what you would need and what you would require for something like that. I will do the same, and we can reconvene tomorrow, maybe around the same time of day where it's pretty dull and dead around here, and see if you all are interested in heading out and receiving some aid to achieve what you need to achieve.
He's got that gillyweed.
While he was talking, I kind of like looked down from the rafters and kind of look at him kind of quizzically. And then I just ask, if individuals in this town are losing things in the lake as often as you claim, I'm curious why you wish for your services that could be quite lucrative for you in such a clumsy town atmosphere, why these services must be so secretive. I
worry that if everyone knew that I was able to do something like that or was doing it, that I would lose my home, my safety and security of just running this bar for most of my time in the day. And honestly, moments like this, moments like now, this is some of the most peace and comfort that I get to have. And I would hate to lose that because everyone would then want certain things, or the government would send me out to do different things, and I would lose the agency and individuality that I have at this time of day on any given day.
Can I roll perception check just to see if this boy's yanking my chain with his sob story? Or
For sure, you can roll an insight check.
Insight check is what I'll do instead. That is a 17.
Okay. You got yeah, okay, this is fine. Only Pilgrim knows, and only Pilgrim gains this, but you gather in his description of that and the way that he's thinking through and articulating it, that there is a deep anxiety behind what he is saying, that there is a real emotion and a fear that he has about the things that he's talking about losing that freedom, about not having his regular routines and patterns and things like that, that his feelings behind that are very strong, and very evident to you, of like the way that his breathing kind of increases, and he looks almost like hurt now thinking about the way that might change. In addition to that too, there's a moment where his eyes kind of linger on yours for a moment, and there's this direct eye contact, and you can sense a little bit of sadness in him, that just like he's looking at you, and there's this moment of like he's calculating, he's thinking, and then looking at you brings some type of sadness to him as well.
I wanted to do this before Pilgrim did it.
Yeah.
But it is slightly different.
Yeah.
I want to do an insight check to see how he feels about the government specifically.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and roll that insight check as well.
5. No, +1, 6.
Okay. I would say that immediately and readily everyone gets this too, and we can bring some attention to it. But yeah, when he brought that up as one of the many things on his list of why he doesn't want his abilities to be public knowledge, like there was a sense that like, yeah, the power that the government has, the undertones of the way that he was saying, and the government would have me do stuff, like came with this sense of like, they have enough power and influence that if they found out that something like this was happening and that somebody had some way that the government would have some type of tendency to not gonna exploit it, but that would be his view of it. And so he's trying to avoid that. And so you do get that sense of like, he doesn't want to be overused in a way, and the government would be one of the ways that can happen. Like people in general might flock to him and ask for stuff. The government also would do that. And he's trying to avoid any way that somebody would come in and ask him to do a bunch of stuff, and the government is included. I'll be right back as well. So if any other chatter or group talk wants to happen, go ahead and continue with that.
I thought Rickeldar was leaving. I was like, whoa.
Step out of the bar.
Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, we have the crabs that can turn into Calypso, and I've always wondered, her body can turn into crabs, but why do her clothes turn into crabs too?
Pilgrim, what are you talking about?
No, this is Steven's voice. Pilgrim doesn't know.
What are those words that you said? What is a Caribbean?
A paracarad.
No, pirates exist.
Paracaribbean. It's a parakeet of the Caribbean.
I think Dan was saying if the party wanted to talk as the party.
Yeah,
No, but
Steven,
Steven,
play
the
the
guy-
game.
No, but the god Steven that controls Pilgrim's body wants to talk
Yeah.
about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pilgrim was talking about normal stuff.
Yeah.
Just on a different level.
Here.
From a
Did you-
different plane.
Did
where
any
there's
of you
pirates.
catch the latest scroll, Pirates of the Caribbean, at World's End?
Y'all are ridiculous.
We got a lot done while you were gone.
Wasn't it one of those magic scrolls where you can like see the story?
Yes.
Okay.
Loreleth kind of like sits forward and looks at him and is like, thank you for this information. We will be back tomorrow to talk more about it. As we mentioned before, we are missing part of our party, so hopefully we will be complete again when we can talk about this all together. But in the meantime, we do have to get over to the Onyx Pillar Academy to update Munkin on our findings from today. And then I kind of stand up and I start walking out, and I don't wait for anyone else, but hopefully they follow me.
Are you gonna take the rotting corpse with you?
I will try to grab it, but I'm probably not strong enough. So
Gwen, help.
Got it.
Tuli jumps up too and kind of like flat-footed. I don't want to have to roll for this, so I take it back if not. But flat-footed kind of jumps over her seat and like lands on the.
No, you're good.
Just in case you take bludgeoning damage when you trip over the stool and hit the table.
That would serve me right, you know? That's the roll of the dice.
I'm okay. All right, let's get out of here.
Rickledar on second thought. Tuli does that, and then she like claps her hands and goes like this, and then goes like this to Rickledar and says, "Catch you tomorrow." Also tell Zach I said bye. And then she tries to goes to help grab the crab with the girls.
While there's that motion and everyone's kind of moving for the door, I'm actually linger for a second with Rickledor, and I just want to look to him and just ask, how long have you had ownership of this establishment?
And he pulls some of the loose strands of his hair back and flattens them down, and it's been a good 37 years I've been running this place.
37. Would you say that you know well and are even well connected with the other owners of other drinking and bedding establishments across town?
Only, I would say, acquaintances or rumors and loose things here and there, but enough to know some names and who does what in town. Yeah.
I asked, I'm curious if you know or can provide any insight or information even on the halfling that runs the Cozy Cots. Yeah, if you've heard anything through the grapevine, if you have interacted with this individual, if there's anything been good or ill that you can speak of this individual.
I mean, he serves a role and a purpose in town, say Agrius. A lot of cheap beds in a small place, and many of my customers late into the night will head off his direction to just sleep off sleep off the evening they had here, and it is easy and quick. And to get over there, do what they need, and to leave, just to find a place where they are welcome and fine. Syagrius, though, I haven't been able to pin anything down, but this has always seemed a little off to me. I feel like every time I leave a conversation with him, he's disappointed, or I'm useless to him. It's just this look that I get after every conversation. He's just not a welcoming guy. What's your read on the guy?
I have not been here long, and my first experience in this town was at the Cozy Cons. But all I can really say is that what little interaction I did have with this Syagrius were certainly characterized as unpleasant. I must say I did not leave our final interaction with the sense that he had the good of his patrons in mind. So that is only why I ask, not to stir trouble, merely to gain more insight into this individual.
Yeah. A business like that with 100, 200 people all stashed into those small rooms and everything. Feels like, that he cares more about the money that he makes than the comfort of the people there, but to each their own. And I mean, I'm sure people are happy to have a cheap room or a cheap bed when they need it. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, Rickledor, thank you very much for your time. And then Pilgrim stands, and we will surely be in touch. And I kind of telekinesis the head off the table, and I kind of over my shoulder look to the stranger at the bar, and I say, I hope that you reconnect with your friend soon. And then I make my way out of the room.
By crab killers?
I like it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of smile and don't say anything and leave.
Okay. Heading out of this bar. Where are we heading next?
We're going to the Onyx Pillar Academy.
Onyx Pillar Academy.
Wait, I don't know if I'm asking this as me or Gwen or both. Should we have considered retrieving the Pokeball before we go back to Munkin? I almost called it Glumlin.
Pokeball.
Glumlin.
Nice.
Different campaign. So sorry. Or do we feel like it's going to be chill that we're like, we lost it, but maybe we'll get it back, but secretly we can't tell you how, We should. I'm just saying we shouldn't have went to like go in the lake right now, right? We shouldn't have.
Right. I would agree with that.
Okay.
I think because we're still coming back with the body of a crab, he'll be fine.
Okay.
I mean,
It's just good business
not-
practices. You don't want to jump on his offer immediately, because maybe he'll sweeten the pot a little bit if we keep him on his toes.
Munkin or Rickledar?
Rickledor.
Mm,
Oh.
Rumble Roar.
Dumbledore.
That's
Boss.
what it sounds like.
Okay, cool. I was just checking. Sorry.
Do you guys
Pokeball.
feel like maybe we should like not mention Zach? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Agreed.
What was wrong with Zach?
Well, just like he wants to be, anonymous, I guess. So maybe let's like not tell Munkin that. That's my
That's cool. Yeah.
Are you talking about Rickledor or are you talking about Zach?
So sorry.
Zach's the boat boy.
I have never met this many people, like in such a short amount of time. I'm struggling with the names, y'all.
Okay, me too.
But, sorry, I meant Rickledar, right? Rickledar.
Got it.
Door.
Agreed.
And then Tuli starts dragging him, the corpse again, towards Onyx Pillar Academy.
You are met with fear and some odd glances as you're working your way across the residential area of the western side of town. And then you cross the main road that splits the town in half and then start to head through the couple layers of residences and shops and things that exist on the eastern side. And you all disperse them or ignore them or however you wish to treat the people looking awkwardly at you all as you carry this massive creature from the coast all the way over to the Onyx Pillar Academy. But easy enough, it is done. And you hear the whispers of like, who are they? What are they doing? And things like that of just causing a bit of a stir. But you get to the door of the tower and it is unlocked and you push your way in, making your way up the familiar spiral stairs, and you can hear voices of people talking up in that main room that you all met in before that used to be a table with some odd creature that Savarin and Munkin were exploring and investigating, but now again is restored to kind of more of an entryway meeting space. And the voice you hear in this conversation, the last words are,
and they wouldn't even let me on the boat.
well, that's, well,
I know. They wouldn't even let me on. I know. And then they lost the containment container that you gave us. They lost it, and they had a lot of trouble. And I really just don't understand why they would leave me on the dock.
I'm sure they have some things they would like to add as well as, and he points over your shoulder and people start to open that door and walk into the room as the rest of the group joins in.
I step forward and say, that's an interesting perspective, considering somebody saved your life while someone else put mine very much in danger. And I just kind of look at him. And then I go, friend, very aggressively.
I'm gonna do message to Pilgrim, and I'm gonna say the crab. I have to point at him, and I say the crab head, or I'm telling him about the stone.
Wait, who are we talking to right now?
Cicero's Munkin. Munkin is in the room at the table, but in your head you hear Cicero's voice saying the crab head, or I'm telling him about the stone. Yeah.
Okay. Well, because Munkin already knows about the stone, right?
He doesn't know we took it. Savarin specifically told us not to tell Munkin.
I see. Okay.
I will leave this party if anyone tells Munkin about the stone.
Wow.
You don't know that we're talking about it.
Goodness gracious.
Here,
I know. This is Sally saying to the party.
Okay.
So meta, Sally. So meta.
Yeah. So I just I smile back at. I mean the head is hovering over my head as it has been the entire time. I will continue to refuse to touch it. But yeah, I just kind of smile at Cicero, and I just kind of as serenely as possible, just kind of say through mind link, your aggression is not needed here. And I just kind of float the head over to Munkin and say, while we were unsuccessful in capturing a live creature, we were able to bring, as you can see, a variety of specimen. And I kind of indicate the head and then the corpse that has been dragged into the room.
Whenever Pilgrim says, though we were unsuccessful, under my breath but loud enough, I say they. And then whenever he says, but we were, I say I.
As the head floats over to Monkin and he curiously listens to Cicero, he sees Tuli leading this charge of carrying this creature in, and Oh my. Well, your friend let me know that you lost the chamber, which first it's okay. I can make another one. You are doing a huge service to actually bring the body across town, and helps you all then move it over to the table that they were sitting at, but now he's going to turn it back into like an operating table situation, and gets the body up on and is just glowing and looking at the body that is here. This, even though it's not alive, which I probably would have been able to learn a lot more of some of its functions, at least the anatomy I could get into, and he immediately pulls out a sketchbook too and is looking things over and has the drawing of the one that he did before, but starts to erase some things and make some corrections as he's looking at this one now close up, and for like a long 5 to 10 minutes, or at least until somebody breaks the silence. It's like he forgets y'all are even in the room, and he's looking at this thing and making little edits and notes, and starts to move some things around, lifts up the head, looks into it, sees that it's mostly empty, and just tosses it aside, goes back to now like the neck cavity and starts to explore in, and then sets the notebook down. So I'm sorry, but this is exciting and so useful. I'm hoping I can provide a lot of information to you as to what the functions of this creature are, and any weaknesses that I can discern from this. And oh my, this means everything. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're
It
welcome.
it was a team effort. Each individual here, and I point at everyone in the room, used their own unique skills and contributed in their own unique individual way to this endeavor.
Of failure. And then I just
I
give
don't
like
know.
a sarcastic thumbs up to Pilgrim.
I walk over to Cicero. I put my arm around him. You're pretty short, right?
Very short.
Okay. Well, I'm short
Like
too.
4'10".
Wait, yeah. Okay, cool. I'm only a couple inches taller. So I put my arm around you. Cicero, man. I don't know what happened out there because I wasn't really paying attention to anyone except for the giant crab monster right in front of me. But I just want to say I miss you while you were gone, and I wish we could have drank together because that was so much fun the last time we drank together. And I want you to continue to be my best friend. So I need you to kind of be a part of this again. We got cool opportunities coming. We got we got money coming. If you want in, you gotta be in, because you can't be the most miserable person around here. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So chill out for me.
I look back at Munkin and I say, I believe it was this one that dropped the thing in the lake.
Oh, it was
Kind of
Gwen.
Brushed the arm off. But I wouldn't know. I wasn't on the boat. I just kind of like step back.
Again, I don't put too much weight on that, and it's okay. But yeah, don't sweat it.
It sounds like we had a success,
Oh, right.
if you
yes.
look at it the right way.
You did. I'm so sorry. And then he reaches into his little bag that he has, a pouch onto his belt.
Yes.
And pulls out 5 gold pieces and sets them and hands them over to Cicero. This is honestly, this is a lot more than I said I would pay you, but also you all did a lot more work than I thought you were going to. I'm really sorry about that. And hands you 5 gold pieces, which.
Can I reach in and try to snatch it before he gives it to Cicero?
You could. You can make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm also not gonna fight her because I don't want it.
Okay.
Good.
So if I see her reaching for it, I'd probably just let her have it.
Okay.
Freaking trust you. Flathead. Oh gosh, well, I rolled a 1, so there's that.
And
But he just said he would let me have it.
That's
Don't
true.
just drop it on the floor.
In this pressure that you've created in yourself to grab it with no competition towards it, you just like pretty much punch Munkin's hand in an attempt to grab it, and the coins just like scatter across the room, and Munkin just and just you make eye contact, and you're kind of looking a little feral in this moment.
I kind of take a step back and I look at him, and then I look over at Cicero, and then I look back at Monkey and go, sorry about that. And then kind of clamor to pick up all of the coins. And then I hand the coins to Gwen because I trust her.
Whenever I see it all happen, I'm going to say slightly under my breath, I'm going to say, well, to be fair, that was the same ability we saw on the dock. So I just kind of...
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Would we like to revisit the very last death on the dock and
I'm gonna
who was near death and who wasn't? Loreleth is getting pissed. She's angry. She's livid at Cicero.
I'm gonna go make lunch. I will let you all sort this out. And Munkin just like heads up the stairs and
I like tell Munkin thank you and try to express some of that while this awkward thing's happening.
Of course. And then he has
I am staring daggers into Cicero, waiting for a response. I called you friend. We have put up with this little charade of you acting as if you had a pity party and were solely alone in this whole endeavor, and that you were slighted because you weren't on the boat. Not to mention, maybe you should have been on the boat, because on the dock, you put a fake stone next to my head and I got attacked by one, and then I saved you by killing the one that was attacking you when you were under the water. So, what would you like to say to the party, Cicero?
Laura, that is so angry right now. I can't handle it. All right, in character. I would probably not say anything. Cicero just kind of steps back. Not like in a fearful way, but just kind of in like a uninterested in having this conversation kind of way.
I take another step forward and say, we don't do that. I don't call many people friend, and I called you friend. And friends resolve things. So we will talk about this. Not do we need to have a dialogue. We will have a dialogue. We are having a dialogue, and now it's your turn to speak.
I'm gonna changeling into Pilgrim and say, it seems like you are very angry right now.
Yeah. Good job. You picked up on it.
Real Pilgrim has closed his eyes and he's doing his breathing exercises.
Thule is on the other side of the room. But she yells out, Cicero, you said something about like a boat. Is that the issue? Do you want to go on a, we can go on a boat. We can go back on the boat.
Gwen's gonna go pay Thule back her portion of the boat just to do something productive during this time.
Thank you so much, Gwen.
Or this standoff that's happening.
And now, with the time to think about and to flesh out and prepare for whatever argument and conversation is going to happen, we will end with this tension to be resolved the next time we go.
Dun, 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 dun.